It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day, and it's day one in Oceanside, California. Now, little backstory. We don't generally work in Oceanside because it's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle for us. We live in southeast Chula Vista, and Oceanside is at the very, very north end of San Diego County. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes up here on a good day without traffic. But with traffic, it could be 2.5 to 3 hour commute. So the client says, we will put you up in a hotel if you'll do it. So here we are. We are shacking up in Oceanside, and I am super stoked about this installation because look at this slope, right? Who doesn't have one of these? This is obviously a front yard. This is a corner lot. There are neighbors that have done succulents in this area, but they have forgotten something very important, and that's boulders, which brings me to part B of our saga. We got a call this morning at the hotel bright and early from KRC that the radiator on the crane truck blew up. So now it's Tuesday. This job is due to end on Saturday, and they thought they could conveniently have our rocks up to us by, Saturday. So that's not going to work. What do? We've got a hotel reserved. We've got crew coming up. I've got back-to-back-to-back gigs this month. This is not possible. So Greg, whose background before succulents was in the heavy-duty equipment rental industry, he's an MVP, got on the horn, called some of his contacts, and he is renting a reach forklift. So he's going to take our dump trailer to San Marcos, to KRC, and bring the boulders one or two at a time and use that reach fork to get them staged. We rented a jackhammer, so we're going to be customizing exactly where these boulders are going to go. I'm going to have the guys get to work digging out the cradles for the boulders. So it's going to take a little longer this way, but it's still going to get done. I'm going to get the boulders exactly where I want them. So at the end of the day, all is well. Also, take a look. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,000 risers in this slope. So the guys will also be busy digging all of these out so that we can remove a lot of this hot mess of irrigation. One way to go with a slope like this, and a lot of people do it, is formal retention. Formal retention is very, very expensive, and it's a way to go, but I love the organic, and I'm going to be boulders are going to steal the show in this installation. We're going to be bringing in some big ones, and this whole slope is just going to be littered with, well, that littered isn't really a great word. It's going to look great. We are going to stage these boulders in such a way that they are going to provide retention in addition to extreme aesthetic beauty. We've got some really, really steep, almost vertical areas on the slope and some other areas that are a little bit more mild, so we will adjust accordingly. Top dressing is going to be 3/4 inch burgundy lava. The lava tends to knit together better than some of the smaller or finer or smoother rocks. So it's really, really good to use on a slope.
On this side. You're okay.
So it is the end of day one in Oceanside, and despite the fact that KRC was unable to deliver our massive boulders, we made it go. It's actually great because now I get them exactly where I want them, and I'm very, very happy. So I'm eager to show you those, but first I wanted to take a quick minute to show you some of the plants that arrived from Waterwise and Sun Valley. I'm also going to have some 24-inch box aloe trees coming in. And then some finished work plants. This is kind of a installation that's happening in real time because we are here in Oceanside. We're staying here. This is very adjacent to our nurseries and rock yards. I can go kind of on, you know, a moment's notice and grab things. So that's what I'm doing. You're seeing this evolve in real time. But we started out with aloe arborescens. We've got our blue elf. We've got our barrels and our agave blue flames. We've got an assortment of different types of agaves, some Titanota and Perii mix. I've even got a resinifera, Vera, Ruboviolacei, arborescens. There's, you know, our Cameronii and some Grenadiensis. So we've got a really good start. I wanted plants that were going to grow more or less this way. I want to really celebrate this slope that we're working on. Not a lot of upright growers, but things that have a pretty face that we want to tip and see. So that's the idea behind the plants. Remember, the first rule of design is it needs to make sense. So I want to work with the slope, not against it. Now, and come on down. You'll see that we got all of our irrigation cut and capped. There were risers all over. We don't need any of those. We are going to be putting this on subterranean drip irrigation. And I know it doesn't look like a lot of things, but we're proud. I mean, this was a lot of work. And remember, Greg had to go to San Marcos to get these boulders 2 or 3 at a time. So multiple trips on that too. But can you visualize? Can you see it? Stand back a little bit, Greg. The idea is we've got this outcropping back that way, this outcropping of 3 kind of clustered, and then, you know, the flankers. So we're going to continue with these giant boulders staged, you know, strategically all through the slope, taking precaution to be sure that we have adequate cradles dug out and that the rocks are secure in their spot and there's no danger of them rolling down the hill. Yes, honey, we've already talked about that. Yes, we want to shout out to Chuck Graff at Sunbelt Rentals for really stepping in and saving the day today with his beautiful toy. Reach forklift, yes, saved the day. So yes, there's always a plan B at DFS. And if you don't want to opt for formal retention, which, as I said earlier, I have no problem with that. That's wonderful, but it is very expensive, and it's a more formal look. If you opt to go more with the organic look, you will need some heavy equipment, DIYers. So if you're game to rent a forklift, and you're not afraid of 1,000-pound boulders, then you go for it. You have my blessing. This has been Laura Eubanks on day 1 of a 5-day in Oceanside with your succulent tip of the day. Thanks so much, all of you new joiners, too. We've had a lot of new channel joiners. We've had a lot of new subscribers. It must have something to do with the fact that I'm posting videos every day. Happy to do it. Thrilled with your comments and the communication that I'm having with all of you. So leave your questions, comments below, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Bye, guys.